Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another crafting GAKidsTV. I hope you've been enjoying them so far, and I hope nobody's making mean comments about how abundantly obvious it is that I should probably stick to gardening and not to crafting. But with that being said, I'm going to get back to crafting. You know what? We've had a lot of fun doing the other ones. The wreath and our little gnome. We got some really good feedback from the gnome. We love it. So what I thought we'd do, as you can see, we got all of our trees in, and we always get asked every year about can trees go outside, and what can I do with my tree, because obviously the artificial ones can't go outside, and that's the whole thing. Are you artificial? Are you a real tree? And both are fine. It's whatever you choose. I love real, sorry. That's our choice for our house, but my mom does artificial. So hi, Mom. So that's her choice. So I wanted to show you a fun little thing you can do for outside, and it's a fun project. And what we're going to do, so I've already cut some branches off. I did get a jump start going here, but it's a super easy project. You're going to need a pot. I grabbed this one, but you can use any of the pots you've had through the summer. Buy a specific one. Maybe you want to go something more Christmassy. When in doubt, I'm always going to go black or charcoal, right? Goes with everything. But you know how we are on GAKidsTV. No wrong answers. So I don't care if you want to use a purple pot. It makes no difference to the project. The only thing that matters is, are you happy and are you having fun? So essentially, what we're going to do, I got my trusty sea soil, and you'll see why soon enough. I'm going to move this. I'm going to put these over here. Now, what I'm going to do is I selected a tree. Now, I wanted something a little smaller so it would go in my pot. I'm going to stand him up, and eventually he's going to open up real pretty. And I'm going to stand him in. So you can see some of these branches, oh, that one broke, have been forced up. So I'm just going to kind of look in here. I'm going to get a gauge of where I'm at, and that's right about here for the top of my pot. So we're going to lie him down. Again, I'm going to keep that, and if you're unsure, if you're worried that you're going to forget, okay, you wouldn't do this on a real tree, but feel free to mark the bark, okay? You just cut a little chunk out and give yourself a mark. So now I know, don't know if you can see that, Brandy, but all I did is I just notched out a little piece of bark. Every branch below that is coming off, okay? I'm going to take my handy pruners here, and the great thing is we're going to use these. So we're going to put them to here, and if we don't use them all, now you've got some greens to do some other crafts. Maybe use them to make your gnome. Maybe use them to decorate your wreath. Look at me going, I'm like super crafty. You know what? We haven't heard back from Martha Stewart and Snoop Dogg yet.
So disappointed.
Yeah. Yet. I've got every faith we'll hear back from them. And if we do, my first question is, Martha, can you come and do our crafting shows? Because I am out of my element. And you'll see here, you know what? I can't help myself. So you can see here, I'm cutting wild. I'm cutting like, I don't care as long as the branches come off. But if I was actually going to be doing this, if this was a real tree and I was limbing it up, I don't know if you guys remember, all of those cuts are wrong. That one's not bad, but not one of these properly went into the collar. Remember we discussed that? So if this was a proper tree, well, it is a proper tree, but a live tree in the garden, that's how I'd want to cut that. Okay? That tiny little inch made a difference. However, it's not that. So I'm just trying to clean it up. We'll get rid of these guys here. Okay, and then if I get rid of this ring, we should be good, he says. Famous last words. Quick trim. All right. So now you can see we've limbed them up, and that's what our tree's going to look like. Looks kind of weird, I know, but that's okay. And again, as you can see, it's going to open up as it gets warm. These came in a refrigerated truck from Nova Scotia. And they were tied up, as they are, super tight so that they don't break and they were frozen, literally frozen. So we've just taken the wrap off them, and as you can see, they are going to open up. They've all been tied. As it gets a little warmer, they're going to just gently and softly open up. So I'm kind of accelerating that process now, and we're just opening it up, and then I'm going to lift, and we're going to come to here and see, voila, perfect. I've got no branches down here. It's going to stand up perfectly, and that's how I want it to be. Okay, so lift it back out. Now, haha, the last 2 times we did this, we didn't get dirty. It would be GAKidsTV if we didn't make a mess at least once. Exactly. Okay, you know what? It's probably, as you can see, I do zero prep. I grab a few supplies that we need, and I really, don't, you know what? I think I'll put my wedding ring in my pocket. Don't want to explain losing that. So, the reason I'm using sea soil, 2 reasons, is 1, it's heavy. I need to hold this tree up. There's no root ball. There's nothing that's going to fit in the pot that acts as a counterbalance to the top. So I want a really heavy product. So potting soil isn't a bad product at all, but it's very light. I want something heavy. Put this in, because this tree's going outside, remember. It's not going to grow. It's not going to live. I'm not even going to bother cutting the bottom off as if I was putting it in the house. I just need it to be sturdy. The other reason I'm using this is because in the spring, when this is all finished, and I pull this guy out and I put him in the compost bin, I take this stuff and I add it to my garden. So literally, this is not going to go bad. It's going to go straight into the garden, put it around the base of my trees, whatever it might be. But that's why I'm using sea soil, for the weight and the fact that it will be used in the spring. So I'm going to open this, and what I'm going to do here is, as we always do, just dump it straight in. Oh wow, I grabbed 2 bags. It looks like I'm only going to need 1. And I probably got ahead of myself there and put in a bit too much, but that's okay. And I want to go right to the bottom. Again, there's no root ball. So remember all those planting videos we did where we spoke about putting a little bit of soil before you put your roots in so they had something to grow in. No roots. So I want to maximize the depth of my pot. So what you can see, if you want to zoom in here, Brandy, is I've just dug out a hole in the middle that's going to hold my tree. And that's essentially all that's going to do is allow me to put the stem straight in and then backfill with the compost. That pause was brought to you by my coffee break. So, and I strongly recommend if you've got somewhere heated to do it, do it. Another pro tip, don't leave this outside because it's rather cold right now. If you leave this inside where it's nice and warm when you do this, even if you do it outside, maybe wait till a Chinook hits, all great ideas, but hey, I'm teaching you guys how to do it, so you guys enjoy it when you're doing the warmth. This isn't bothering me too much at all. So, straight into the bottom. I want to keep it somewhat straight, and that's just for it to be even. And now, we're going to, and this time, so you remember as well, when we talked about planting, how you never, ever wanted to use your fist and crank that soil down. This time you do. There's nothing to grow here. There's no roots. There's no expansion. The only goal here is we want the tree to be as sturdy as possible. So I am going to use that second bag. So you can see right now, and this is the thing as well, it is loose right now, but as you can see, don't know if you guys remember, but look at the natural moisture in sea soil. So look at that. Look how well that clumps up. Once this guy freezes overnight, you got a solid block of counterweight, it's not going anywhere. So, I'm going to take my second bag here, and we're going to open it up. Again, always with my handy pruners. I don't know if you guys have noticed, every time I do it, I've got a different color pair of pruners. Basically, I just steal any pruners that are lying around instead of bringing my own.
It's your favorite tool.
It is, and I should actually bring my own in. But I always forget until I'm here. But you know what? Benefit of working in a garden center. There's no shortage of pruners. So we come around. And by the way, I do want to mention something very important here. Brandy's mom. Hi, Brandy's mom. Got Brandy some new gloves. Brandy?
Look at them.
How awesome are they? And I asked Brandy, I'm like, oh, I forgot gloves. My hands are so cold. Can you please help? And she laughed at me and said, it sounds like a you problem, not a me problem, sucker.
I am not giving these up. They're the best gloves I've ever owned.
Okay, so that's not perfectly straight, but that's okay. Just going to rock them back. Remember what we said as well. Look at all the rules I'm breaking. Instead of lifting a root ball, because I don't have one, I'm just reefing the whole thing back, and that's fine. Much better. And again, the reason I'm checking for straight, even though it's not alive, if it's on a slight angle, when we plant it and snow and moisture gets in, it's going to fall more. If it's up straight, the branches will help make the weight even around it. So you do want to adjust to keep it as straight as possible. And again, I want to really, really put pressure onto this soil. Okay, now these guys. So you can see, yeah, kind of looks weird where I cut that off. So now what we're going to do here is we're just going to take our pruners, and again, no rhyme or reason here. We're just going to cut 20 lengths we want. We're just going to put them into the soil. And we're just going to use these almost like one of our planters. So remember the planters we talked about? I think we showed them on social, didn't we, Brandy?
Yeah.
Yep. So kind of that idea, and all I'm doing here is hiding the soil, and it's going to be the same thing, okay? And if you don't want to stick them in the soil, you don't have to. Some people like the look of just kind of lying them across and having it going like that. Again, whatever you like, be it you don't have the time to plant them all, that's not the aesthetic you want. Maybe you don't have a tree big enough for that. Maybe it's a smaller pot. Whatever the case might be, all I'm doing here is I'm just giving it an aesthetic so that we're hiding the pot and we're making it look nice and full. So I'm going to do both. I'm going to lie some in. Oh wow, I packed that in real tight. There we go. And others I'm going to stick in. And again, these are all going to freeze. Never a bad idea when you're doing this. Even though I used sea soil, and I showed you guys the moisture in it, it's never a bad idea to add some water. And all that's going to do, again, it's not going to keep the tree alive. This tree is done. But what it's going to do is it's going to add that extra moisture to freeze. So one thing I would recommend, look at using a plastic pot, or look at using a pot maybe you don't care about too much. Because with water, expansion, contraction in the winter, you might end up losing the pot, leaving it outside. So just be aware of that. So, I'm going to put more greens in. Now, if you want to decorate it, absolutely go for it. I kind of like my outdoor trees to be more bare. I guarantee Brandy can't look at a tree like this and not think it needs more decoration. I prefer mine more of a simple. It's going outside. I want it to be more of a natural feel. But with that, and another quick life hack. If you put it in, feel free to cut your branch on an angle, and then it's going to slide into your soil so much easier. Okay? And you feel free, just keep going until you've got enough that you like the look of it. Maybe you prefer the best in. Maybe this is a part of the project that you don't want to do, but I like it. So what I do now is, how's that look? It's nice and full. And don't worry about using your cutoffs. If you wanted to go buy cedar or pine, or you want to go use a different type of bough, you want to wrap some garland around there, you do you. There's no wrong answers when it comes to this, especially not on GAKidsTV. We're all about the creativity. So now, here we go, Brandy. How about this? Multi-purpose decorations.
Oh my goodness!
So we've got Christmas decorations, and these are made of birdseed. And they're basically just birdseed stuck on a form. And what I'm going to do here is, because this is a bit more delicate, remember our other second best tool, a knife? I'm just going to cut this. Oh, and look at this one too. I'm not going to put this one on my tree, but I love that wreath. I love that wreath. I'm not going to put it on the tree. I don't think it fits. But again, remember when we were showing you the wreath and we were saying, you know, you can do the wreath with one classic ornament or you can fill it. Same with putting lights on your tree. You can do every multicolored light you want, or you can stick with a theme. You can do blue, or you can do a soft light. This is even more so than a garden. I think Christmas is so personal. There's old traditions, and then there's new traditions. You know, I have my family traditions. Jenny has her family traditions. Jenny and I started our own family together, and one thing we do when we decorate our tree, something fun. Every time we decorate our tree at our house, we put on Christmas music. We don't often listen to Christmas music at our house, and we order Chinese food.
Oh.
Yeah, and that's all. And then we spend the night decorating the tree and laughing and joking. And it's great. So I'm just going to take this guy here. I'm going to hang him there. Now what this is going to do, not only does it look awesome, but I'm going to give something for the birds. Now the birds have got some shelter and they've got food. The moisture down here from the water I had is going to give them a drink. When it heats up and that moisture comes out, the birds have got something to drink. So now I've done something good for the birds. I've got Christmas decorations, which makes Brandy happy.
Yes.
And I've got a gorgeous, gorgeous Christmas tree. But, like I said, if you want to put, only thing I would recommend, if you're putting ornaments on it and you're putting lights, please, please, please make sure they are suitable for exterior use. With snow, and especially here in Calgary, with Chinooks and freeze thaw, I'd hate to see you guys lose ornaments or lose lights, trip a breaker and lose all of your lights inside. And now I'm going to come around to this side because I can't really see. And where did I put Santa? Right there. Safety. Oh, wouldn't that be funny if I bumped my head?
Oh, no.
Oh, I mean, no, that wouldn't be funny at all. Safety first, people. And we're going to put Rudolph up there. You know what? Get out of here, branches. I want Rudolph to be like that. And even this, so the nose and the eyes of Rudolph, they're all made out of dried fruit, and all of this is seed. The birds love these, and they are so much fun to put out. And that's pretty much it. So what we do here is we have more of these. We've got gingerbread men, add your own ornaments, and then that's it. The only other tip I would do is build this where you want it to be, because once it's done like this, I'm going to be able to move it. Maybe you can't. Maybe you're like, oh my God, this is really heavy. It's top heavy. It's moving. So put this where you want to build it. If you want it right out in front of your house, I recommend building it there. That way, also, if you make a mess, the snow's going to cover it up. You shovel it away. Voila. And now you've got sea salt for the spring, and you've got this for your compost. So that's it in a nutshell, folks. Decorating a Christmas tree for outside and doing your own planter with it. I hope you guys had fun. I hope you enjoyed it. If you do any of these projects, please send us the picture, especially Snoop Dogg. I'm going to hold on to that. Snoop Dogg's going to answer me someday. And yeah, we'll see you guys soon, okay? I think next we're going to show you guys how to build a Christmas terrarium next week. So we'll see you guys then. Bye, everyone.